civil action or people's action. And the way the propaganda of the Ruto regime has been is like the demonstrations are an affair for our leader, Raila, and his people. But Friday proved that wrong. We had very vibrant demonstrations in Kisii, and there was no Azimio top leadership. It's the people's action. The same with Mombasa. And you saw in various other parts of the country, in Nairobi, in Kirinyaga, I launched the collection of signatures in a town hall meeting, which was very well attended. And there were various actions. You saw Kalonzo in Kadhiani, in Machakos, and there are many, many other places. And the response of the people was very good. Demonstrations were peaceful until police took violence to the demonstrations. In Mombasa, the police had even publicly assured them that they would facilitate, meaning overseeing peace. But they're the ones, unprovoked, who attacked the demonstrators. The same in Nairobi, as they were marching to the city center. And it's not an offense to come to the city center. They were just expressing. And in a way, Nairobi was able to show that people are there. Every day we are facing these questions from the media and from detractors that, oh, how many people? I invite them to count how many people marched from Kamukunji towards the city center. And that's just a tip of the iceberg. That's the way it's been wherever we go in Nairobi. Whether it is that Kawangware route we did the other day, whether it is Kibra, whether it is Mathare, whether it is Embakasi, that is the signature. And even when we had countrywide rallies, that was the signature. And I think it is time. We've started with that proverb. Let's all agree that hot water is not a playground for frogs. You see, we may wonder why Khartoum's Sudan has had 4 upheavals. It's about people exercising power for themselves, not for the people. Because if it is for the people, then when people speak, you pause and listen. So my message to the Ruto illegitimate regime is listen to the voices of the people.
What was the message on Friday? When you were in Kirugoya, in Kirinyaga County, when the others were across the country, what was the message for the Saba Saba? Was there one coherent message?
Yes,
message?
I was in Difathas, which is on the borderline of Gishugu and Mwea, just a place where everybody could meet.
Why is it called Difathas, by the way?
Because there was a chief known as Difathas. So Difatha, so it becomes Difathas. We have Kutus. There was a chief called Goto. The white man could not say Goto. So he said Kutus, it became Kutus. We also have Jegas, where we had Chief Jega. So it's of names and people.
Okay.
So we were at Difathas, and the message was consistent. We've been telling Kenyans, look, you have power. Article 1 says sovereignty resides with the citizens of Kenya. That's a constant message. And we are telling the people they can exercise that sovereignty either through elected representatives or directly. Since the elected representatives have refused or are tone deaf, a majority of them, to the people's cries and needs, it is time to exercise that sovereignty directly. Since there is no place enough to hold a general meeting of the Kenyan public, we will hold as many meetings all over the country. And how then can Kenyans express themselves, and how can those who ask, but how many are you, know how many we are? So the people will hold their own referendum of signatures, so that by the time we hit the threshold of 10 million, then we know a majority of Kenyans are speaking. So those signatures are people exercising their will directly, their sovereignty directly. They are not for taking to any institution. It's literally a body count of the people who are supporting the cause.
Do you see this position